We have one goal in our committee. It's really to commemorate the Northborough's role in the American Revolution. And we'll be doing this, we've already started, and we'll be doing this for the next year. We're a committee of 13 Northborough citizens coming from different town organizations. We have members from the Historical Commission, the Historical Society, Community Affairs, the American Legion, the Garden Club, Cultural Council, Cable Access TV, and the National Park Service. Committee members, just raise your hand so people will know who you are. We're also the ones that have badges on. Thank you. So this is our second event. We had an event about a month ago, what we were calling our Witness House program. That'll come up in a minute. I have to thank the financial support. The town of Northborough is funding our efforts here. The Historical Commission has funded some of this, and the Historical Society. So we've got a three-pronged approach on trying to get funds for our efforts. We are planning to have 12 to 15 short videos over the year. We've already done 5, or is it 6? 5. And they've already been posted. They're on our website. They're also on Northborough Cable TV. The videos last between 3 to 6 minutes. They just highlight a short, an aspect of the history of the town in terms of the Revolutionary War. So today's event really is the work of the committee, but I need to especially thank Lois Van Koppel-Smith. Lois, raise your hand wherever you are. So it's really, it's been driven by her vision for what she wanted us to do and her attention to detail. We're going to be participating in the Bunker Hill Parade. We're not sure how that's all going to work yet. Again, Lois will be our contact for that. But we have a sign-up sheet. If you're interested to learn more about the Bunker Hill Parade, that's on Sunday, June 15th, which is also Father's Day. At the tables, there also will be a flyer on the Historical Society program that's coming up on Friday. That has to do with the first black professional basketball player. And the new Historical Society brochure for all the programs for the next year are also on the table. 4 of those 8 programs are based on the Revolutionary War. So I'd like a few people to come up for some introductory remarks. First, Mitch Cohen, who's the chair of the Select Board.
Good afternoon. My name is Mitch Cohen. I've had the pleasure of serving as the chair of the Northborough Select Board for the past 3 years, and on behalf of the entire Select Board, welcome to Northborough's wonderful town common. The Northborough Select Board was very happy to have supported the Revolution 250 event with some federal grant money that we funneled to purchase some of these really lovely costumes. Today we commemorate events near the start of the American Revolution 250 years ago. The Minutemen we remember today set off to fight for self-governance and to have a say in how their taxes were levied and spent. This past week, our town gathered for our annual town meeting. Some will remember it as the longest 4 days in anyone's memory, a grueling 4 nights, and it was. It was also a celebration of our best American tradition of community self-governance. We argued, and we squabbled, and we voted, and we made our Minutemen proud. Thank you very much for joining us to celebrate our wonderful town's history as part of the American Revolution. Norm.
Thank you, Mitch. Now I'd like to introduce Mike DeShano. Mike DeShano is the president of the Northborough Historical Society. Here you are.
Thanks, Norm. I'm the president of the Historical Society, and my term will be coming up shortly. When I thought about today, one of the things I recall from my past, I worked in Concord for many years, and on days that was trying, or I had a couple minutes, I would go to the bridge where the battle was fought, walk across the bridge and go to the iconic statue. I think it was done by the artist named French, and it depicts a colonial Minuteman with a musket in one hand and a harrow or a disc in the other hand. Obviously a farmer putting his disc harrow down, picking up his musket and moving to the battle. And that iconic statue always inspired me. on hard days. And it depicts, I think, so many of the attributes that so many of our ancestors brought to the table, and it's the reason, in my opinion, why we are the country we are today. So I urge you to get your vision to have that vision in your mind of where we came from as colonials. Thanks.
Oh, perfect. I didn't want to take it. I
That's
just
okay.
wanted
I
to
was
talk.
done.
That looked rude.
I was babbling.
That was very rude. All right. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, it's good to get inspired once in a while. So we're going to start our program, and it's going to start with a gun salute from the Honor Guard. And I don't know where they're set up. All right. And then next we will have Maribel sing from here. So if you can come this way. Yay. You all set? Hey, when they shoot the guns off, you start your singing. Thank you.
Today, I'm also the captain of the Aspen Village Minutemen. Because I am with the Minutemen, I'm going to turn my command over to Mr. Bombard, who will lead the volley in anticipation of the national anthem. Hey, fire! That's right. Hey, present arms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Now you're going to sing for us the God Bless America? Oh, because you're... You want to try, or...
Go ahead, I'll just go in, just stay either on the right or
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, wipe with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my
We appreciate you taking the time in your busy schedule to come visit with us. And I think you're off this afternoon to do some more singing. Is that right, Mom? Yes. So have a good afternoon, and thanks again for coming out. Moving on, we're now doing the Call of the Minutemen, which is more a reenactment. So we'll have a reenactment of the Northborough Minutemen departing for Lexington and Concord on April 19, 1775. The setting is the Captain Samuel Wood's home at 97 Main Street. Captain Wood is being played by Steve Smith, who grew up in the Captain Samuel Wood home. Reverend Whitney, his prayer will be done by Tommy Lowe. So I'm leaving it up to Lois to take it over.
Men, we have just heard the news that the fighting has begun in Lexington and Concord against the British regulars. Many of you have been in our militia for many years, but we've only trained twice a year. The fact that 50 of our town's men have volunteered to risk their lives to become Minutemen is a major accomplishment. We've increased our training to twice a week at the training grounds not far from here. As your captain, I can tell you that we're ready to fight. You, your families, and our townspeople should be proud of the patriotism you've shown, supporting our commitment to our charter rights and privileges. Parson Whitney has been a spiritual leader in our town in our patriotic endeavors for many years. It's interesting that we were gathering to hear an address about patriotism from Parson Whitney when we heard the news about Lexington and Concord. You all did well to gather here in just a few short hours to make the journey. Parson Whitney has asked to give us a blessing before we leave, and I welcome him to do so.
I ask you to bow your heads and pray with me for the safety of these troops as they set off for Lexington in support of defending our rights and property. O Lord, oppose those who oppose me. Declare war on those who are attacking me. Put on your armor and take up your shield. Prepare for battle and come to my aid. Lift up your spear and javelin and block the ways of my enemies. Let me hear you say, I am your salvation. Humiliate and disgrace those trying to kill me. Turn them back in confusion. Blow them away like chaff in the wind, a wind sent by the angel of the Lord. Make their path dark and slippery, with the angel of the Lord pursuing them. Although I did them no wrong, they laid a trap for me. Although I did them no wrong, they dug a pit for me. So let sudden ruin overtake them. Let them be caught in the snare they set for me. Let them fall to destruction in the pit they dug for me. Then I will rejoice in the Lord. I will be glad because he rescues me. I will praise him from the bottom of my heart. Lord, who can compare with you? Who else rescues the weak and helpless from the strong? Who else protects the poor and the needy from those who want to rob them? Malicious and deceitful testify against me. They accuse me of things I don't even know about. They repay me with evil for the good that I do. I am sick with despair. Yet when they were ill, I grieved for them. I even fasted and prayed for them, but my prayers returned unanswered. I was sad, as though they were my friends or family, as if I were grieving for my own mother. But they are glad now that I am in trouble. They gleefully join together against me. I am attacked by people I don't even know. They hurl slander at me continually. They mock me with the worst kinds of profanity, and they snarl at me. How long, O Lord, will you look on and do nothing? Rescue me from their fierce attacks. Protect my life from these lions. Then I will thank you in front of the entire congregation. I will praise you before all people. Don't let my treacherous enemies rejoice over my defeat. Don't let those who hate me without cause gloat over my sorrow. They don't talk of peace. They plot against innocent people who are minding their own business. They shout that they have seen me doing wrong. Aha, they say, aha, with our own eyes we saw you do it. Oh Lord, you know all about this. Do not stay silent. Do not abandon me now, O Lord. Wake up, rise to my defense. Take up my case, my God and my Lord. Declare me not guilty, O Lord my God, for you give justice. Don't let my enemies laugh about me and my troubles. Don't let them say, look, we have here what we wanted. Now we will eat him alive. May those who rejoice at my troubles be humiliated and disgraced. May those who triumph over me be covered with shame and dishonor. But give great joy to those who have stood with me in defense. Let them continually say, great is the Lord who enjoys helping his servant. Then I will tell everyone of your justice and goodness, and I will praise you all day long. God bless you, and good luck.
Company, fall in by the 2x2 rank. Facing this way. Form up. Find your mate. Okay. Okay, get in there. All right. Okay, right here. Okay. You got 3 on the end? Okay. Okay, you got it. Okay, that's, yeah. You got the brakes, we got everybody.
We're going to put you at the end.
Yeah.
She said I was supposed to put you 5 on the side.
Okay, that's all right. All right.
I'm sick of doing the way he
Okay,
says.
company,
Good.
shoulder fire locks. Prepare to step off. To the left foot. Step off. Prepare to right wheel. Right wheel.
Yeah, right.
Oh, fantastic.
Yay.
Just before the
All right. So now that they're off, we're continuing with our program. This is a poem. It's a poem, and it's going to be read by Joe Wyman. The title of the poem is "The Minutemen of Northborough," written by Wallace Rice.
"'Tis noonday by the buttonwood, with slender shadowed bud. 'Tis April by the Assabet, whose banks scarce hold his flood. When down the road from Marlborough we hear a sound of speed, a cracking whip and clanking hoofs, a case of crying need, and there's a dusty rider hastes to tell of flowing blood, of troops afield, of war abroad, and many a desperate deed. The Minutemen of Northborough were gathering that day to hear the parson talk of God, of freedom, and the state. They throng about the horsemen, drinking in all he should say, beside the perfumed lilacs blooming by the Parson's Gate, the British marched from Boston through the night to Lexington. Revere alarms the countryside to meet them ere the sun. Upon the common, in the dawn, the redcoat butchers slay on Concord march, and there again pursue their murderous way. We drive them back, we follow on. They've begun to run. All Middlesex and Worcester's up. Pray God, ours is the day. The Minutemen of Northborough let rust the standing plow. The seed may wait, the fertile ground up smiling to the spring. They seize their guns and powder horns. There is no halting now. At thought of homes made fatherless by order of the king. The pewterware is melted into bullets, long past due. The flints are picked, the powder's dry, the rifles shine like new. Within their captain's yard and rank, they hear the parson's prayer unto the God of armies, for the battles they must share. He asks that to their fathers and their altars they be true, for country and for liberty unswervingly to dare. The Minutemen of Northborough set out with drum and fife. With shining eyes they've blessed their babes and bid their wives goodbye. The hands that here release the plow have taken up a strife that shall not end until all earth has heard the battle cry. At every town, new streams of men join in the mighty flow. At every crossroad comes the message of fleeing foe. The British force, though trebled, fails against the advancing tide. Our rifles speak from fence and tree, in front, on every side. The British fall. The Minutemen have mixed with bitterest woe their late vainglorious vaunting and their military pride. The Minutemen of Northborough, they boast no martial air, no uniforms gleam in the sun, where on and on they plod, but generations yet unborn their valor shall declare. They strike for Massachusetts Bay, they serve New England's God. The hirelings who would make us slaves themselves are backward hurled. On Worcester and on Middlesex, their flags forever furled. Theirs was the glinting pomp of war. Ours is the victor's prize. That day of burgeoning has seen a race of freemen rise. The Minutemen of Northborough sit down by Boston town. They fight and bleed at Bunker Hill. They cheer for Washington. In thankfulness, they speed their bolt against the British crown and take the plow again in peace. Their warriors' duty done.
Great job, Joe. Thank you. I'm going to take a minute so we can get the roof off of that pop-up so it doesn't block anybody's view. So now the next part of the program is it's the Minutemen after the call. So the setting is Captain Wood will be back with us, and he'll address the townspeople of Northborough after returning from Bunker Hill. And he's going to report on the involvement in the war effort from Lexington and Concord and up to the Battle of Bunker Hill. So Captain Wood, you can take the stage.
As we marched towards Lexington and Concord on April 19th, we learned that the British regulars had already been driven back to Boston. So we went to the camp at Winter Hill, just north of Charlestown Peninsula Neck. we continued training for the next 2 months. And occasionally, some of us had to make brief trips home to tend to our farms and businesses and take care of our families. We were next involved in the Battle of Bunker Hill. Breastworks had been built on Breed's Hill on the southern end of the peninsula. On June 17th, the British began to attack the southeastern end of the peninsula. Various Patriot fighters were able to hold back the British from behind those breastworks for 2 surges. But then the British were able to break through these fences and proceed north to Breed's Hill. Some men of our town were ordered to go across the neck towards Charlestown. On the way, Colonel Ward received word to halt his forces, since the men who had been fighting had run dry on their powder, and General Warren had been killed. But many of Colonel Ward's men broke from the ranks, including myself, and some of my men, to proceed to where the Patriot fighters were attempting to retreat, so we could provide cover to allow them to do so. I received a slight wound from a British bullet, but have fully recovered. We continue to be at the ready if we are needed to engage again. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Wood. So now, we're going to have some singing by 2 seniors from Algonquin High School. We have Myra Denny and Maria Nagaria, and they're going to sing My Country 'Tis of Thee and Yankee Doodle.
My country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the Pilgrim's bride, from every mountainside let freedom bring. My native country, the land of the noble free, thy name I love. I love thy rocks and rills, thy woods and templed hills. My heart will rapture fills like that above. Yankee Doodle went to town a-riding on a pony. He stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. Father and I went down to camp along with Captain Gooding, and there we saw the men and boys as thick as hasty pudding. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy.